Hello folks, and welcome to another daily Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. First of all, I would just to say thank you very much for all your feedback. I really appreciate that. But I guess we had a big misunderstanding yesterday with my message, with my initial comment when I talked about, that I'm getting less subscribers, paid subscribers, more free subscribers, and stop demanding. That was my main message. My message wasn't, hey guys, you are greedy, whatever. You are making big money with crypto, but you are not sending me even $7 per month. That wasn't my message. I don't care about those $7 per month. I mean, I appreciate your monetary support, of course, but that wasn't my message. My message was stop demanding things. I have explained many times that I don't have the time. I really just don't have the time. Well, yesterday, for example, one follower sent me a DM. He was a little bit, he said, oh, wait, does that mean with Phoenicia, Inspo will disappear? No. Inspo will keep being Inspo. One thing doesn't have to do with the other. Phoenicia is going to be bigger than many expect. I'm not going to talk about that because, I'm going to handle Phoenicia like I'm handle every business I do. Also with banks. On a professional way. So I'm not going to shill Phoenicia or whatever. I will just, when we are done, and hopefully we are done soon, we will launch the website. On the website we will see the roadmap and much more stuff will be added later on. But just to come back to the topic, my message wasn't just, hey, make a paid subscription. That wasn't not my message. My message is just stop demanding things because I can't provide them. That's the only one. The trend that many people are shifting to free analysis, okay, that's part of it. I mean, I could stop at any time. If that would be a big issue for me, do you think I could increase the price, the monthly price, for example, but I'm not doing it because it doesn't matter. It's for me, it's still a support for retail. The only thing what I'm doing is analyzing a market where, I have a passion for figures, for numbers, and to analyze. It's what I'm doing for others as well, just not for less, like here. But that's fine. That's, something I like to do, to try to support you, because I know that markets, financial markets, are sometimes very foggy. They use every kind of opportunities and ways to hide their operations. But I bring some experience in that, and I can give you a way to understand in a better way, or, to make your view a little bit sharper and to recognize or just figure out what they are doing. I have mentioned also so many times, Inspo is not going to tell you up or down. That's not my goal. That's not my approach. My approach is to show you how markets works, the different assets they use to drive the market, how they hide their operation, and to educate you, to give you ideas and to trigger your creativity. Just to say, hey, next time I can do it for me alone. And that's my goal. That's it. That's absolutely it. Phoenicia is going to be completely different. Completely. Trust me. So, Inspo will keep its Twitter account. I will keep making tweets and analyze the markets as Inspocrypto. But Phoenicia is going to, push us up a little bit more to a new professional level. We will not only provide market analysis, we will provide a little bit more. However, that's another chapter. We are not going to talk about that today. Anyway, thank you very much for all your paid subscriptions. I don't want to forget that. No, really, I appreciate that. But for me, that's really just a donation. I could have a PayPal account where you can send money if you want. If you don't want, then it's also fine for me. That's why I'm tweeting and making, a lot of stuff for free, because it's not about money. But it is helpful when I can cover some costs. So next chapter. I have talked yesterday about Hong Kong, and I was taking a look deeper to the whole thing, and I did a comment to this guy. He is following me, by the way. If you're watching my analysis right now, it wasn't, I don't want to blame you or something. It's absolutely fine. I also don't have, I don't think that you are fooling retailers. But in my opinion, also the media is not making the whole stuff very transparent. While, some medias are saying, yeah, Hong Kong is going to do, prepare retailers for offshoring, crypto, blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, you take a deeper look, and you see, that's a concept. So they are right now not even that ready. So, if we take a look what they are saying, for example, then they are saying that they are announcing a consultation process on February 20th. This was yesterday, outlining a new licensing regime for the industry, which proposes that all centralized cryptocurrency trading platforms operating in Hong Kong must be licensed with the regulatory body. What is going to be the regulatory body? I was checking that a little bit. It smells like what the ECC also wants to do. So, just to make it clear, and now not talking about geopolitics, that's the next phase. But if, for example, companies, centralized exchanges, says that ECC is going to crash the market and they want to leave because blah, blah, blah. But Hong Kong is saying, hey, we are going to open our market, but just if they meet the requirement of our regulation body, and it looks similar to what ECC has in mind. For example, declare some, and nobody knows what kind, but crypto assets as securities. I mean, that's fine, because I think that's part of their regulation. But where is the difference then between Hong Kong and US? I really don't know. And just because they are going to let you apply to a license doesn't mean that you can meet their requirements. Because they are, for example, saying money laundering, terrorism, financial, and so on and so forth is going to be a big, big red flag. Also in this regulation framework that they are right now creating. Wait, isn't that what the ECC is also going to do? Isn't that why ECC was taking some steps against Binance? Because they said, it seems your money laundering process isn't working. Because just a guy from Russia that we arrested on Miami was just making money laundering on your centralized exchange. How is that possible? So I would be extremely careful. That's one part. But the second part, it's even more interesting. Let us take a summary of the last almost 2 weeks. We don't need to talk about a white balloon. Who cares about white balloon? Nobody knows exactly what China is doing with these white balloons. I was reading a nice interpretation about that, but however, we don't need to talk about that. Let us talk about facts. Let us talk about, for example, that China is thinking about to provide Russia with arms. Do you think that's de-escalation? Okay, let us make another statement coming from Russia. Moscow supports China over Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Xinjiang. I mean, you know, that doesn't sound like de-escalation. Now let us imagine. What do you think would happen? You as US American citizen, me as German citizen, for example, I have my money in Hong Kong. For example, I think OKEX, for example, is licensed in Hong Kong. So just imagine Hong Kong is part of China. So the CCP has its hand over Hong Kong. And that's why Russia did such an announcement. You know, they named Hong Kong. Not only Taiwan, also Hong Kong. So what does that mean? In case we have a bigger escalation between the Western nations and the Eastern nations, like Russia, for example, and China, what do you think will happen with your money or crypto assets in an exchange licensed in Hong Kong? What do you think could China do? I mean, they did it several times. They banned. Now they are talking, at least Hong Kong. We are not talking about, people say, yeah, but they are saying offshore. Yeah, but offshore doesn't mean China. China mainland crypto ban is still valid. And I have bigger doubts that they will stop with that. Because even last September, China was developing smart contracts for the e-yuan, while Russia is building a big crypto infrastructure. The whole thing is absolutely bullish for crypto. Don't get me wrong, but in long term. You know I'm extremely bullish on crypto in long term. But those outside and on Twitter shilling it and saying, yeah, from June on, moon next, because all the Chinese are going to buy. Listen, Chinese are using already ways to trade crypto. They don't care. Of course, it will be better for them to make it legal, but let us be realistic. Those Chinese who were just trading crypto for years, they are still doing it. And the Chinese government know that. They know that. China, the central government owns 200,000 bitcoins. They own Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, and I don't know how many different assets. If you check Google, you can check that they sometimes they are publishing and releasing a list of their crypto assets. It's very interesting. So, the whole story is not just, hey, from June on, moon. Always make questions and look for the answer. If you don't find an answer, then it seems, it's not clear yet. If you read, for example, how we are going to make, we are talking, it's a concept, and we are going to make a consultation process, does that mean or does that sound, hey, we are done? We are going to open the whole market? No. Can it happen? Yes. And even then, we need to be extremely careful. And even then, we need to see what is going to be their regulation framework. Is it more crypto friendly, for example, than the US one or the EU one? Or is it the same? And do you know what? They said one thing. They will adapt to the global regulation body. Global. Global. That's the key word. What does that mean to you? Global. Means the regulation framework in Hong Kong will be the same regulation framework in Dubai, will be the same regulation framework in Singapore, and will be the same regulation framework in US and EU. That means adapt to the global regulation framework or body. So if those who are pissed with ECC and say, we are going to leave because they are crashing the market, it's stupid. Because China is going to do exactly the same like Russia, like Dubai, like Singapore. They will not allow that you can have a license wherever you want, where it makes it possible to money launder, or even to money launder, to refinance or finance terrorism, for example. That's not going to happen. And don't forget, because even what China is saying, or Hong Kong watchdogs adapting to the global crypto body, regulation body, sounds very similar to what Joe Biden said in 2021 when he said, but the US will lead the track of taxes related to crypto trades. Global. So behind something big is happening. But pain first. And I have said that so many times. Pain first. When nobody wants to buy, it's the time to invest. When people are informal, when people are expecting, the next moon, YOLO, it's time to stay away. I'm not trading. That's it for today. And that was really a long initial comment. I don't know if, I think even longer than yesterday. However, big love. See you in a second. So guys, then let us talk a little bit what is happening with the wealth ratio. As you can see, the wealth ratio 30 days moving average is still holding. It went even a little bit more up and now it seems it wants to go down again. But we'll see if it's going to bounce here. Unfortunately, I think exactly that is going to happen. If that's the case, maybe it goes down a little bit, it will bounce, it will go up. If that happens, just indicating whales are unloading. And that's the whole thing. They just want to unload even more. And that's it. That's the whole secret. No crystal ball required here, in my opinion. So, that's what we can see here. Absolutely nothing changed here. Still above a 50. That's just too high, indicating whales sending much more bitcoins. Now people are saying, well, but no, that's not true. It seems they are not saying it. So I was expecting it. You remember a few days ago I said, we received so much bitcoins, and I'm wondering why they are not dumping them. And I was expecting in few days we will see a bigger outflow and people will say, that's bullish. You remember that? It's just a few days ago. And look what happened. We had today a bigger outflow. Well, I was trying to track this wallet and I think that's an internal exchange operation. But it's really difficult to really track who is behind. Absolutely. So yeah, we need to ignore that. We know, okay, we had some outflows, but that's it. At the same time, if we take a look, for example, here, we can see that, for example, here, the weights ratio 1 hour time frame at the moment at 77. It's okay. It's not huge, but also indicating, as you can see, making higher lows, indicating the pressure should rise a little bit. Anyway, if we take a look once again to the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, they did it again. We went up to 87, 86%, and then it started to decline. That's what they are doing, because then the price goes down and then up again. So I guess at the moment it's not easy, because SPY, SPX is also here making some, they are pushing the price down with their algos at the same time, so the pressure comes also from them. But anyway, for me, it's obvious. I think we are not done yet. We will go a little bit more up, not above of 25. I don't know if that's really what they are expecting, but at least I would expect bounce a little bit, go up, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something like, hey, from here crash, because that's not what they have in mind. They are unloading, and they like to use the 25K wall to do it. And that's it from here. So let's go to the next chapter. So if you take a look here, for example, as mentioned just in the beginning, 4,700 Bitcoins outflow. Well, first of all, I have tweeted about that. For that, we need just to go a little bit more up. Where's my chart? Here's my chart. So I will show you here something. And that's why, for me, I was expecting those 4,600 Bitcoins. That's Bitcoin Exchange Reserve spot exchanges. So aggregated all single Binance, Bitfinex, Coinbase, all of them are there. So however, they started to send Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, and that's the reserve. So as you see, the reserve was rising with the price. And that doesn't make sense, because of course, when the price goes up, usually whales, whoever, wants to unload. So it makes sense to do it. And afterwards, they started to sell, and someone is buying. I mean, if you have a buyer, you usually should have a seller. Otherwise, this buyer isn't a buyer, right? So, and of course, it declined. People will say, or can say, yeah, well, but someone is buying. And I mean, we are not talking about 400 Bitcoins. Right, but nobody knows who is behind. I was trying to track this wallet, and they split it part of this amount in 100 Bitcoin and 50 Bitcoin, and sent to wallets who were almost not active since July 2021. And then they even created a new wallet, and to the new wallet they sent almost those 4,000 Bitcoins. Usually that means rebalancing. So for example, when an exchange has too much Bitcoins on one wallet, they start to rebalance it and to send to other wallets. Maybe also a cold wallet, nobody knows. That's a problem. As soon we don't tag this wallet because we know it's created by Binance, Bitfinex, or whatever, we don't know what's behind. Is it bullish or is it bearish? It's neutral. We don't know. So yeah, just, to talk a little bit about that, because I guess some people will talk about that. However, if we take a look here, for example, we can see, well, almost the stable coins are absolutely flat at the moment. They are not indicating anything at the moment, absolutely anything. At the same time, related, for example, to Bitcoin, we can see they sent 640 Bitcoins here, another 700 Bitcoins here. So we are talking about almost 1,400 Bitcoins. But that's not a lot. That's really not a lot. That's peanuts. Yeah, but that's it from here. Let us go to the next chapter. So if we take a look now to the funding rate. The funding rate, as you see, it was pushing up very hard while the price was lifting up. Then it declined when the price declined. Then it lifted up. I mean, if we take a look here, it looks really strange because it's someone has a crystal ball. So then up and now declining, and it's keep declining. So we need to see if, if that's it and we will bounce here or not. If we take a look, for example, right now to the leverage ratio, you remember leverage ratio was here, then it declined hard, then pushed up, afterwards declined, lifted up, declined again, and now it seems it's also declining, but also here indicating always, for example, here, if we take a look, for example, to that part here, price push up from here to here, and look what the leverage ratio is doing. Price went up a little bit more up, then started to decline. Leverage ratio decline. Then it pushed up once again up. Leverage ratio up. Declining. Leverage ratio declining. So even much more accurate than the funding rate, for example. Someone is driving the market with high leverage. As mentioned, if we take a look to the open interest, looks completely different. Open interest up, down a little bit, more up, down a little bit, more up, down a little bit, up, down. Also here, it correlates very well to the leverage ratio. It makes sense. But it seems someone is using high leverage every time before they push up. For example, here, they use high leverage. High leverage just means less liquidity, bigger volume. You can drive the market. If you know nobody can crash your party, your plans, you can do it. And it's smart. It's smart to do it. Because you have the way to do it. So why not use it? If they liquidate you, you have maybe lost 1 million, but not 100. That's also a big difference. So if we take a look now to stablecoins related to derivatives, 8 million. That was the maximum today. It's nothing. But related to Bitcoin, we had, for example, here a bigger outflow, 1,800. And the biggest inflow here was 1,600 just this morning. But also not big at all. Absolutely not big at all. So aggregated, we see what they are doing. Aggregated, that's very interesting. Open interest lifting up, that's the aggregated one, as mentioned, more than the funding rate. Leverage ratio. But funding rate pushed up very hard. It's now declining. I have mentioned, it seems that retail is selling. When retail is selling, these guys are not going to absorb the whole risk. Doesn't mean we can break 25k maybe in a few days and push up more, trying to create more FOMO, but first they need to decline. They need to give retailers a signal. You are smart, we are dumb, let's go. And that could happen. We will see. It depends of many different things. So, for example, what SPY, SPX is going to do, what DXY is going to do, and so on and so forth. If we take a look here, for example, we see yesterday 930 Bitcoins wrecked from the longs and 117 Bitcoins wrecked from the shorts. So almost the same. Nothing to see here. now let us take a look to, wow, okay, to blockchain whispers. What they are right now flipping once again. So we see 1.5 billion in longs and 1.2 billion in shorts, because we are declining. They are expecting, okay, we have here a support area, at least a trend line, and so it would make sense from here to bounce afterwards. Also on Bitfinex, for example, longs coming hard, shorts declining more. Well, you know my opinion about Bitfinex. On Ethereum looks similar, and I would even say on Bitcoin even healthier than on Ethereum. But anyway, you can see here almost 1 billion in longs on Ethereum and 700 millions in shorts on Ethereum here as well. Now let us take a look to the Kingfisher. What's happening there? We use the no data. Oh, come on, please don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, come on. Why not? Bitfinex, but Binance not? Huh, that was okay. It seems just a tech issue. And it takes, oh, okay, but it's fine. So 80 millions once again reduced from 120 to 80 millions right now. It seems, yeah, just related to that, it would make sense even to go down a little bit more. Low leverage shorts, big here, even bigger than, for example, that's almost 80 millions, isn't it? Yeah, 79.85 millions. That's a lot. So someone is shorting big here, it seems, but with low leverage. 36k liquidation level. It's $12,000 away from here. Let us take a look to the high leverage. I guess more at the moment, more on the side of shorts, I guess. Wow, yeah, but we need to push up hard from 24.6 until 25.3. 24.6 is not that far away. But of course, we have different trend lines there, so it's not going to be that easy. If we take a look, 3.5 millions. So much less. You remember just a few days ago, 60 millions in high leverage positions? It's not the case anymore. On the long side, nothing. And that's also surprising me a little bit. However, we are done here. Let us go to the next one. So then let us take a look what happens here, for example. So if we check, you remember, well, what is that here? Now it's better. So the whole way from here to here, we can just make a check. They used one on Binance. That's only Binance. I can show you that. That's only Binance BTC USDT without BUSD. So only BTC USDT. And with BTC USDT, they did from here to here 110 million. 110 million CBD. That's not bad at all. However, if we check the next chart, we can see that's all aggregated BTC USDT. We check here the same period of time from here to here, 108 million. So a little bit less than Binance. But as mentioned, Binance, Spot King, I guess, it's just a guess. It's a lot of wash trading happening there. CSAT, or at least Binance, is well known that they had even wash trading algos running a few years ago, so it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. So if we go forward, we can see here BUSD. Yeah, I'm not kidding right now. BUSD from here to here. Just imagine. I mean, Paxos stopped issuing now BUSD. but 37 million, not bad at all. Well, then we have USD from here to here. Oh, only 3.7 million. So it seems they are selling more, or at least much more than with stablecoins. But just ignore it. It's not important. Kidding. However, from here to here, and that's now stablecoin futures. So you know BTC USDT futures, perp, whatever. 875 millions. From here to here, Bitcoin collateral futures, another 170 millions. So if we are adding both only in futures, it means a CBD of almost 1 billion. If we take a look here, 37 million plus 108 million, and we are talking about BUSD and USDT. We are not using USDC at the moment here because it's I don't have an aggregated view related to USDC here, unfortunately. But it's not that big. It's not that huge volume. However, let us make 200 million in CBD related to 1 billion. And please tell me that's a spot rally. What happened just in a few days? Of course not. We can now do exactly the opposite. Now we go here, price range, and we say from here down. Oh, what is that? To here, I guess. Oh, 101 million. Let us do it here, Binance as well. I don't see that stuff here, so here. 102 million. I mean, in all that time here, in just few, what is that? In few hours, well, almost a whole day, but and the same with BUSD from here to here, minus 10 millions. From here, that's stupid. I can't see that. Look, minus 14 millions. Minus 14 millions. Okay, they pushed up just a CBD of 3.7 millions, but declining minus 40 millions. Well, they are taking cash and directly with fiat. It's not bad. It's really not bad. So if you take a look here, for example, now, or here, for example, 1476. Oh, let us know. Okay, so now we can see what they are doing. Right, pushed up with Bitcoin collateral, longed more than short, and now look what they are doing. Shorted, much bigger in CBD, 270 millions with Bitcoin collateral. 875 millions up in longs, and then 870 millions in shorts. You know, if we take a look here, it's obviously that someone is using pure futures to drive this market to the upside, but also to the downside. Don't discuss with me that this market, that this rally was a spot rally. It isn't. It wasn't. It isn't. Oh, okay. Different app. And so on and so forth. However, we can go now forward. We can see that's now BTC BUSD. I really don't get why. Well, it doesn't matter. But all these algos here are using BUSD. How is that possible? I mean, I don't get that. However, aggregated declined a lot, and so on and so forth. Everything as well. Bitfinex stopped selling, started to push up. Not big at all. I mean, CBD, it's saying 300 Bitcoins difference. So that's not big at all. On Bybit, pushed up, declining a little bit, also nothing big. Coinbase The price starts to decline, Coinbase starts to buy. Also nothing. It maintains a range, not big volume. Bitstamp started to decline here. It's very interesting because if we take a look, wow, these guys have to be a crystal ball. They nailed it. If we take a look, for example, to Kraken, so here, for example, they nailed it. Went down, afterwards up. If we take a look, for example, now to Gemini, looks a little bit different. Someone is in fear, it seems, and started to sell, but it's not big volume at all. So also here we don't need, So that's, for example, now also very interesting what's happening. We can see, for example, USDC, some USDC coming in once again while the price is declining. Also indicating, and that explains why the price is not declining big. They sent here 60 millions, for example. That was 6 hours ago. Then they sent here another 4.7 millions, for example, to the top, or almost to the top. That was 3 hours ago. Then another 10 millions here, while just 3 millions outflow. Then another 6 millions here, while just 300,000 outflow, and then afterwards almost outflow. Not big at all, 1.5 million, 1.6 million, and so on and so forth. But yeah, so someone is at least buying here while the price is declining. That explains why the price is not dumping, not nuking, even with low budget. That's the thing. That's not bullish at all. Absolutely not. If we take a look to USDT, also here, for example, 8 millions in. If we take a look, for example, here, another 5.6 millions in. If we take a look here, another 4 millions in, another 3 millions in, and so on and so forth. So to make dead cat bounce and try to push up while all SPY algos are trying to sell. Believe it or not, we received 8.4 millions in BUSD just 1.5 hours ago. Believe it or not, someone is using BUSD. Incredible. However, let us take a look now to the entities. First of all, retailers declining more. These guys started to lift up. These guys maintaining. These guys lifting up a little bit more. It's not big, few thousand. Market maker declining. These guys lifting up. That's always the same because, and this guy's not doing anything. And that's it from here. So if we take a look, for example, here we can see that wallets with 0 to 10 bitcoins are reducing in count, but at the same time these guys here with 10 to 100 bitcoins are lifting up a little bit. So now reacting, and some retailers, it seems, are buying a little bit more, and that's why shifting to another entity. Let's just take a look here to the market maker. If we can see here something, well, that's also interesting. It's a new chart. Nothing have changed here. Still futures, since we pushed up from 21,700 to 24, almost 25. And everything else is the same. So the market maker sent once again 180 bitcoins, 300 bitcoins, and is still sending another 100 bitcoins. It's not big at all because they use OTC if they want to unload big, and these guys are big. So if we go forward, also very interesting, that's the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour time frame, that's whales ratio for each centralized exchange. We have here, for example, Huobi, Kraken, Binance, OKEX, Coinbase, Bybit, Bitfinex, Gemini, Bitstamp. The problem we have here, unfortunately, hey CryptoQuant, if you are watching maybe this analysis, please do it. also separate here from derivative and spot. That would be great because that's a mix. However, it's always interesting to see who is driving the market. I will show you something. Let me show you something very interesting. So look. Do you see that? The correlation? That's Coinbase. Yellow is Coinbase. That's Kraken. That's Bitfinex, Gemini, and Bitstamp. Can you explain me how it works that they are at the same time unloading? I mean, someone is using these exchanges, guys. Someone is using these exchanges. But as mentioned, we have the problem we are using here. I mean, on Coinbase, we know they don't have derivatives, so it's really simple then, you know, and that's why I use that here also to compare related to Bitfinex, because it makes sense. If we check, for example, Binance is, for example, the orange one. You know, we had here a bigger whale activity. Also, for example, here, bigger whale activity. And it seems they're using Binance only to distribute. That's the whole thing. Price goes up, they send Bitcoins to Binance, unload. And yeah, that's it. That's almost it. Yeah, we can go forward. So if we take a look, for example, we have here, yeah, I would say something like a sandwich of volume here between 22.5 and 23.5. So also on Coinbase, someone wants to avoid that the price could go much lower than that. However, also here the stir is very interesting, even if it's not big. 65 Bitcoins waiting there at 24k. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It looks, it's just following. Is that MA200? No, it isn't. I don't know really what that is here. However, doesn't matter. Oh. So if we check that to the upside, 27k, and of course we have more, 30k, and so on and so forth. So if someone is using Coinbase, Bitfinex, or Bitfinex using Coinbase, and so on and so forth to distribute, the big question is why? And why? I mean, it seems they need an upper price. I don't know why, but directly then it comes to my mind Grayscale and MicroStrategy. I guess it's just a coincidence. Nobody is talking anymore about Genesis. Nobody is talking about every trash happen in 2022, like, and that's crazy because, you know, you just need to move the market and retailers will forget everything. You can almost crash the market, but as soon a week later you can create some FOMO pushing the price up with futures. They forget everything. Everything is fine. They forgot that FTX collapsed. They forgot that, you know, that Genesis institutional infrastructure is bankrupt. They forgot. It's so incredible. But yeah, it's not only in the crypto market. They are doing it even in politics, unfortunately. They can just launch laws, and they just need at the same time to tell you, woo, we are going to have, I don't know, the next environmental catastrophe, and people will forget that they are going to launch laws. Bad for them. They wouldn't care then. That's what's happening. The same like here in the market. You all, or many of you, forgot what is happening in the market. You all forgot that Multi-billion companies disappeared. You don't care because the price is going up. And that's the problem. That's the difference between a whale and you. That's the difference. Patience. Patience is gold. I have said so many times. However, the next bigger liquidity here is waiting at 20k, and of course also to the downside. Look how much. I don't get why to lock all the liquidity here if nobody is expecting that the price could go that hard down. Bitstamp waiting at 26k. They triggered here, for example, the 25k, and also here. I don't know what they have in mind. Everything below 21,600 is well protected, and that's it. Also from here. So Binance, BTC, USDT. We can see to the upside everything above of 24.8 and 25.5 also well protected. Once again, if you're Coinbase and you want to sell, why should I sell on Coinbase with such a low volume? Why not use the exchange with 98% of spot volume in the whole market? That's crazy. But of course, they use it. And we have a big wall at 24k. If we break this one, we could go even lower. But you see, I mean, it's so controlled, everything. It's so controlled. Usually you have so slots, so you can push up. Now it's so controlled. They want to maintain the current price. They don't care, but they want to maintain the current price. That's what they are doing here. BTC BUSD. Tell me, how is that possible? Why is someone here protecting a 25k with 174 bitcoins? Tell me, with BUSD. Look, at 20k, 285 bitcoins. I mean, people are trading BUSD. I'm really speechless. You can give them dog poo and they will trade that. That's so incredible. Bitfinex, clear what they are doing, right? Look that. Yeah, on Bitfinex, baby, come on, let us push the price a little bit. They are maintaining. If they push and some retails are going to say, oh, that holds, it looks positive now, bounce, they sell. That's what they are doing here with algorithm. So also here, once again, refilled all that area, just waiting. Come on, let us go a little bit more up. I need to distribute more. Everything below 21,600 well protected, as you can see. OKEX spot, nothing. OKEX swap, nothing. Kraken. On Kraken at 23,300. Now waiting at 27,200. So yeah, they are still expecting, or many are expecting, to go more up than down. Bybit, nothing. Bybit again, but this time with Tether, nothing. BitMEX also here waiting at 24 as well, and they remove this wall here 22,500. Instead we have some at 22,800 and nothing to the upside. Now BTC USDT and perp, look how much, not that much like to the upside, right? We have a lot here to the downside. They want too long. So I think I'm absolutely right. They don't want to leave this level. They want to maintain here. We'll see how far. We have the local POC here, 24,600. So go back here and maybe go again, hitting 25k. It's a very stupid game, in my opinion. A really stupid game. And that's BUSD. Unbelievable. So also here, Bitfinex derivatives ready to long at 23,600 or 23,300, or to short, for example, at 25,500. Well, almost 400. Kraken futures, nothing. OKEX futures, nothing. Deribit, on Deribit, they are here waiting at 25 once again and 25,200. Yeah. And otherwise to the downside, 23,100, 22,500, and so on and so forth. And of course, a lot liquidity to the upside. And that's it. That's it from here. Well, let's go to the next chapter.